In the hustle and bustle of rush hour traffic, shopping trips, or finding the perfect spot to get close to nature, Broadriver Road can be viewed as a busy thoroughfare that simply gets you from one place to the next. But the area is more than that, much more. A popular library location, places of worship, and lots of locally owned businesses call the area home, and so do many families.
I moved here in 1975. It was very residential. It was very community oriented and more family oriented when I first moved here. It was less commercial over here. We didn't have as much commercial as we have today. It was very green.
I was born and raised in Columbia, and I had a lot of friends that lived out here. I used to come in here and ride horses. It was a farming community. I knew a lot of the people out here. It was very rural. Once you crossed Broadriver Bridge, you were in the country. We used to have Boy Scout campouts, and we used to take hikes over where the zoo is right now. There was no I-26, there was no interstates. This was a real rural community, and I remember the first houses they built out here. I thought the houses were so nice, such a nice suburb.
I moved in this community in 1974. This was a very family-oriented community. We had the bowling alley and the skating ring and different family conducive events, and we had the movie theater.
I've been living in this area for 41 years. This is where I made my home, was in the Broadriver Road, St. Andrews area. Well, I watched Columbia High School being built in the community and watched how the community just kind of grew around Columbia High School, and just how this whole area was very vibrant. I had one of the very first malls in South Carolina was Dutch Square Mall.
Broadriver was at its peak when Dutch Square Mall was created, when it was founded and was vibrant as a mall. People just came to this area. And even before then, there were communities around this church, pushing Broadriver all the way up towards Harbison Forest, that were just full of young families. The schools were thriving. And that has changed. People have moved out of this community, and they've moved to Lexington, up to the lake, to Chapin, over to Blythewood, other places.
We found residents moving out. And so there are quite a few of the residents that are still here that were here when I first came here. But when it began to become commercial, then the communities began to change.
To me, one of the first signs of a declining neighborhood is abandoned cars or litter or both. And we are constantly battling the litter problem.
We do clean sweep litter pickup from Broadriver Road all the way to Piney Grove Road with the children. We do side streets.
We've had communities come together along the corridor, picking up paper along the corridor, because all we're trying to do is to send a message to everyone to let them know that this community and the neighborhoods, they have not been forgotten.
While the Broadriver Road area has changed in many ways over the years, some things remain the same. Neighborhoods dot the landscape, and longtime residents are hopeful the area will regain the vibrancy it once was known for by attracting more families because of its established neighborhoods, amenities, location, and easy access to, well, almost anywhere in Richland County.
So we have invited all the businesses and communities along Broadriver Road. Of course, it's open to anyone that lives within Richland County, but it's really geared to create this community dialogue among the people who are stakeholders in this area.
So NIP is the Neighborhood Improvement Program, and County Council a little over 10 years ago created this program with the purpose of empowering and revitalizing Richland County neighborhoods. Specifically, what they did at the time was focused on 10 different areas. Some of those are small neighborhoods, some of those are large geographic areas, others are corridors or major street areas around the county. So 10 of those were turned into adopted master plans. Those master plans talk about how those areas can revitalize. We have one for the Broadriver Road Corridor and area. It's about a 5-mile long portion of Broadriver Road. It starts at the River Bridge, goes all the way to Harbison State Forest, and it includes all of the neighborhoods around it on both sides. So that master plan was adopted a few years ago. And what the master plan does is it outlines kind of the strengths and the weaknesses of the corridor in those neighborhoods, and then things that we can do, or that the neighborhoods can do, or that private investment can do to revitalize that area, bring it back to life, whatever its new life is going to be. And it proposes things that we should do and undertake to do that. So the theme for the corridor, we really played off the fact that this is a river area. We have a beautiful bridge that starts the corridor for us. We also have, the forest and the neighborhood. So we kind of played on those themes and have a beautiful image that highlights those, as well as the fact that this is a neighborly place. The neighborhoods are really strong there. They've been there for a long time, and they continue to be really strong, and that's what we wanted to highlight about this area, was that it's a neighborly place. And so that's the logo that we came up with, accompanied by a pretty image that pulls into it the elements of the corridor that we know and think of Broad River to be.
I think this logo and branding is just a major beginning for the community. It gives the community a sense of identity, I think, to build on. And it helps us to look forward to this wonderful, comprehensive master plan we have for this community. And the master plan, remember, covers a whole lot of things. It talks about land use, how we're going to use the land in this community. It talks about, what kind of property you have next to your home. It talks about, where businesses are going to be located. So I think it's going to be just great for the community, but you have to start somewhere. And I think you started with an identity. And I think from the feedback we get, I think a lot of individuals here are excited about what they see in terms of the logo, the branding for this particular community. And I'm excited about it too.
And I've noticed lately there are new businesses coming into the area. Every other day, a new business is either revitalizing an old building or they're pulling something down and rebuilding.
This area has everything. Your churches, your schools, your parks, plenty of restaurants, plenty of shopping. Just a great place to raise a family, and also a great place to have a business and have companies here. I mean, the Broadriver Road Corridor has everything that you need for your family or your business.
My goal is to see families walking, biking, interacting up and down the Broadriver Road Corridor to cafes and different family-oriented businesses.
And younger people are moving in, and we're encouraging people to move in because it's close to the city. It's convenient for commuting, young professionals, people with children. It's a nice neighborhood.
And so they want it to get back to some way that it used to be, some revitalization. They're very passionate. They love this community.
It takes all of us engaged and involved so that we can work together to make sure that we achieve our goals that we're trying to achieve.
We can revitalize.
Broad River, a neighborly place, is lots of communities united together on one accord to make sure that the communities are preserved. And we do everything to maintain a beautiful quality of life for every citizen along this corridor.
The residents who live in the community surrounding Broad River Road are united in making the area inviting to new businesses and especially new families looking for a great place to call home. Broad River Road, it's a neighborly place.